Howdy all, we're back to more for the 2024 Stoneburner Open for Dune Imperium Uprising. I'm your host and commentator, BlackShadow, and we are seeing the very last couple of games now for the wildcard round of players trying to make their way into the quarterfinal stages of the competition. This should be a pretty highly competitive match as well, as we are gearing up for wildcard H here. Just 2 games remain. It is only the winners of the matches that will go through, as well as the highest scoring second place out of all the matches, which is still Joe Klein, one of the first matches that was played, hanging on by a thread. But say Wildcard H here, featuring 3 third place finishers from the group stages: Luna, Ferry Perry on the bounce, as well as Axels. Luna, or the Lunahtic, came third place in Group M. Had a pretty good group stage, all things being honest. One of the highest scores to come into the wildcard rounds, which is both good and maybe not so good. Winning their week 3 match and coming second place in all other games with 50 points overall, but just needed to find a second victory to unseat JMB and just couldn't quite manage it, so a point behind, sadly. If we'd been back at the old scoring system, I think they would have actually made it through directly to the quarterfinals, but here we are. Lunahtic is a very resourceful player, has played all sorts of leaders in this: Wadi, Margot, Fade Ralph, and Irulan, I believe it is. Has also featured as well at the North Carolina Invitational events too. Lovely guy, will be pretty hard to get off this table, and will fancy their chance to get for the quarterfinals, but everyone's got a decent shot here. Ferry Perry came third place in the highly competitive Group I, the one that was just 5 points between the top and bottom of the table. It was pretty much windshed across the board. Ferry part of a 3-way tiebreak on 12 points to secure a spot into the wildcards, but just couldn't quite find enough to get into the top 2 as well. Pretty much started the competition not in a great state, losing their opening game, but managed to rally to secure that wildcard spot. Ferry has played mainly combative style leaders with Muad'Dib and Gurney Halleck, including the one match they've won. Have also gone off that track as well. We've had 1 game played in the groups with Emperor Shaddam, but you expect them to be generally fairly aggressive, as I expect probably a lot of these players at this match are going to be. On the bounce came a very solid third place in Group D, unable to trouble the top 2, Epical and Cyclo winning 3 matches between them and very quickly locking up the top 2 spots. But bounce with the best of the rest here, again with a victory as well as 3 second places, which is pretty good going, to be fair, in a group stages of this standard. Bounce has gone solidly battle-heavy leaders with Muad'Dib and Gurney Halleck. A game as well with Fade Ralph, who maybe isn't quite as battle, sort of like deterministic as some of the other ones, but obviously can definitely branch into that, and I expect we'll see more of the same here. You're going to see a lot of players just trying to blast each other off the battlefield. Maybe a chance for someone to do something a little bit different and find a little niche. And last up, we have Axels. 4th place finish in Group K, but it was very close. Narrowly edged out at the end by Terashar. Unable to catch up, despite winning the final game of the group, which was a little bit disappointing for them, but very solidly into the wildcards as well. They've played a big variety of leaders, some battle, some not so much of Irulan in there as well. And they might be a bit of a wildcard here. I do suspect the 2 other 3 players might literally just go to war with each other. If there was anyone I think that might take a different route, it might be them, but obviously it depends on your seat position, the leaders you dealt out. Sometimes you don't have a ton of options to use. So I think it's going to be a pretty close game. I think this is going to be very competitive, very hard to call winner. Probably Lunahtic, I'd say, is the marginal favourite going into this. But, you know, as we've seen in plenty of these matches, these wildcard matches are pretty unforgiving. Alright then, Table's get yourself ready here, as you can see, getting prepped up. It is going to be Zogi in the blue seat. That is Axels, who's going to be picking first, which means it will be on the bounce to draft first in yellow. So let's see what we've got here. This could be an interesting little start here, actually. A couple of contracts aren't too bad. Sardaukar is a bit tricky to use. Not everyone's a big fan of it, but the Arakeen Troop and Spy, very popular contract indeed. People do like that a lot. The Imperium row is very interesting. Look at this. We've got double Smuggler's Harvester, which I don't think I've ever seen before, actually. Not the best of cards, but people have to kind of make work of it. Shishakli is very popular, but no Fremen Bond really to work with at the moment. Delivery Agreement's good for the contracts, a chance to possibly try and, you know, pick up some and eventually trash it for a point. And then the Imperial Spy Master is also a pretty solid card for the 2 costs, with the Emperor Access and also being able just to, you know, lift spies for intrigue. So, you know, some options there, but nothing like absolutely breathtaking. As for the Imperium, he's our leaders. We're missing Both Shaddam and Irulan, we are missing both of them. So a lot of these probably wanted combat heavy leaders. They're all there, and they can just go to war here. And I expect that's what we're going to see. Someone like the likes of Staban, unless Staban's in like first position, hard to see it being picked otherwise. So this is going to be a pretty combative game, I imagine. So I expect you're going to see a lot of like Gurney, you're going to see Muad'Dib, you're going to see probably Fade. I think you'll see Margot as well, truthfully, is my expectation of the form. What order, I don't know. We've got Fade in 4th place, okay. We've a lot of the time seen Gurney getting drafted in 4th, but, you know, Fade also is totally fine there as well, being able to threaten lifting spies with his ring in the first round to try and go for some early conflicts. Yeah, the Imperium row is interesting. It's kind of a little bit reduced. People aren't really going to want to be picking off a lot of these cheap cards. They will be concerned about revealing stronger cards for their opposition. But it's also a row where maybe having the most persuasion isn't the biggest deal to start with as well. Somebody see with like big 6 costers, for example, and people will deliberately go for them. But none of that here. So expect the Imperium row to kind of influence a lot of how this game is going to be played and the speed it's going to be played at as well. Gurney in 3rd, Muad'Dib in 2nd. None of these should be surprises. So it's all up to Zogi, basically. Does he want to go for Margot? Or is he could go for a Staban and try and live off of Imperial Spy Master here. But it's a bold choice, and it's one that he does not have to make. I think just picking Margot is the best pick here, and does agree here. So it's going to be Margot. Alright, let's see what we got then. So, it is the mouse skirmish for the cash. Fade Raffle will be not unhappy to see this. It is a match for him. And he's got his ring as well, so he might have a dab at this. Margot Fenring with not a great opening draw here, unfortunately. Picks up nothing particularly great. Everyone else has got a little something at least. Muad'Dib's got both his faction access cards, but he does not have either. He does not have his ring, so getting to Fremen twice in a row is going to be tricky. So he's going to have to kind of hope that he redraws here. But it's going to be unlikely. Gurney's up here. Plenty of persuasion. Going Desert Tactics and just trashing your dagger here doesn't seem terrible, truthfully. Doesn't seem the worst idea. You've still got your recon. You're probably going to get to like at least Spice Refinery. You have like 4 persuasion or more if you want it. Is anyone revealing early for Shishakli here? Gurney might do. Gurney could opt to go Desert Tactics and trash early. I could see worlds that happens. I don't think anyone else is going to. No, goes for the refinery. Okay, so Margot took the Arakeen contract and it peeled off the Spice Refinery double draw here. So he's going to pick that instead, which is interesting to go there early. A little unusual. Well, Fade Ralph's got full license to just go for this, and he kind of has to go Desert Tactics, I think, here. Cannot allow Muad'Dib to potentially get back there, so does get in. The dagger will go. And he's still got his ring to do so. So this is a nice opening start here for Fade. Gets rid of the Dune card. Now that is interesting. We've seen this a couple of times now. Players opting to trash their Dune cards early. I don't think that makes a whole lot of sense, truthfully. He's going to trash nothing. He wants his dagger. Well, what's going on here? Obviously, he feels that he wants to win the fight. The loose dagger is going to hold on to it. That is a little unusual to go Desert Tactics and basically pay a water for a troop. And not opt to take the trash of the dagger earlier. That is unusual. They're going to think that he's got a load of, like, convincings or something. It's something very unusual. I'll raise some eyebrows. Margot's got Seek Allies. She did pull it, but she's got both daggers now. So, bit awkward this. I would not blame her for going Arakeen and just putting like the spy on Espionage. Margot and Fade both want to get to Espionage ASAP. I know you put your Seek Allies. It's not ideal, but it is what it is here. I could definitely see her going Arakeen, putting in the free troops. Maybe even more potentially with Arakeen. Try and get the match here and put the spy down on Espionage. If she doesn't get a spy on Espionage before Fade Ralpha, it's going to be very hard for her to see really much access to the Bene Gesserit, and it's very important for her, of course. Remember, her side ability gives her some spice for hitting the 2 persuasion. So, Seek Allies is there, but I think it's okay to bypass this, and she does agree. Doesn't want to see the other Diplo. Ring instead, so be it. But I think this move makes a whole lot of sense. Yep, it's got to get in there before Fade. Fade opting to use his diplomacy first, so... And I think we'll put in at least 3, if not more. I think 3 is a reasonable enough price here. Wilddeep will just pick up some intrigue. Oh my goodness me, wow. First intrigue of the deck from Wilddeep. Can you believe that? Can you absolutely believe that? My god. That is bad news for the table. Gurney, I sort of just go Assembly Hall a lot here, and does. Takes Distraction. That's a decent card for him, actually. Very easy to get 3 troops in. So, what does the Fade want to do here? He's got choices. Could go Refinery. I expect him to go Basin a lot, because he was intending, I think, to go Basin and then probably Espionage next round. I think was his intention, but obviously the Spy is now blocked, so he might go for Cash instead, and does. He's got to put in both troops. He's no choice here. Yeah, I think Margot probably should have put in the 4 troops and be done with it, because Fade just too often puts it in here. So, a bit of misclick there. Margot's pressed the wrong button, so just going to quickly pass it around. So, double daggers, not really worth anything here. I guess maybe it was a good thing that Fade decided to keep the dagger. I don't know. It was interesting. I guess that's why. Anyways, takes the Spy Master. Full Persuasion from Wilddeep will take Shishakli. Now the Cousin Marla Pistol comes off. Arrakis Revolt comes off here. My goodness, I mean, Wilddeep's going to want a piece of that. But Gurney gets there first, very fortunately, with his Assembly Hall hit. So that's quite fortunate. Leadership comes off now. And that's all that will be played here. So Bounce will take the opening hit here. Pricey. Margot charged him the full price. But was obviously prepared to do so. And we'll move on. Okay, Refinery's up next, so it's Dagger Fight now. Wilddeep and Gurney have obviously got those. No access to Worms, so that won't be a particular concern here. Wilddeep knows that Gurney's got his ring. And that will be of concern to him here. Pretty hard for Wilddeep to win this. No faction access, did not repull it. So he's just going to draw as many cards he can and try and find his diplomacy. Doesn't find it. He's just going to put troops in here, I think. He's got no choice. He's just going to blast away. But the problem is Gurney acts after him and is also going to get involved here. So, again, very hard for Wilddeep to win this, but he's got both daggers. Feels he has to. Fremkit to begin for Gurney. And the ring will be coming here. And there's not really a whole lot that Wilddeep can do about this. He's hoping maybe his intrigue might scare Gurney off, but I don't think there's any word that it does. Fade does pull diplomacy. He has got it. He might go back to Fremkit and try and find his... He did buy Prepare the Way, so if he goes Fremkit, he's got pretty decent odds of getting the Siege straight away here. Decent chances. Kind of hard to turn Fremkit down. Kind of hard to turn it down yet. So he's going to try and respin it and find his card here. Does he get Siege straight away? No, he doesn't. Misses it. Little unlucky. Pulls his dagger. That's a terrible card from the draw as well. That's about the worst thing he could have found. So, little unfortunate there. Chance to get in early with Siege, but hasn't managed it. Margot knows she can just limp in some troops. Something should be fine. But she's got double... She's got both her faction cards now. She refined Seek Allies immediately, which is pretty wild. Probably just has to go Desert Tactics and trash the dagger, you'd think, a lot of the time here. And we'll probably just limp the troop in. Don't need to do anything more here. But the problem is, if you're using this other this faction card, you're not deploying anymore. And Fade could well have Siege access. So maybe you put in the second troop. Because of that. Takes the chance. Wilddeep's just going to grab some spice. Nothing else he can do here. Gurney with his ring can win this fight fairly easily. Does he want to go Spice Refinery? He will draw a couple of cards. And given that you've got you got Leadership and Delivery Agreement are the two on the row here, I think that's well worth fighting for, especially leadership. Or maybe someone peels a bit off another big card for you. Now the pistol's also not the worst thing for you, truthfully. Could also go Hagger Basin and just take the free spice. That's also not an outrageous move. If you want to protect the draw. No, happy to take the cards and see what he pulls here. Didn't want to see Diplo. It's the only card you didn't want to see, but, you know, that's the way it goes sometimes. Now, how much does he put in here? He's going to put in probably... He has to put in at least 2. Muad'Dib has probably got his daggers, but you know you've got him outsourced. Do you just put it all in to get distraction off here? Think so. I think it's okay to do this. Might as well get distraction off. You can put a spy down anywhere on the board that he fancies. Does he put it on... He's considering maybe not playing distraction, maybe, to say, I've still got an intrigue. You don't want to play against me, Muad'Dib. There is maybe an element of that going on, but that would be the one reason he doesn't play distraction. Or maybe he's holding on to it later on for when it's more important. He is first to act next round, so... Unless he's going to put the spy down on the council, which isn't a terrible move, actually, all things considered. I think getting it out's fine. Could also just go Fremen. Put it on the siege, okay. He's thinking in case Fade goes siege next round, it's waiting for him to still get his hooks. Nothing for Fade to do but go Assembly Hall here. Hope that a decent coster comes off in front of him that he can buy. Does he ever go... Oh, he's thinking of maybe going... he's thinking of going gather support here and picking up some water. Well, because he's thinking siege. Hagger Basin's there. Research station as well. So Margot can Diplo freely. Where do you go here? Do you go secrets? Deliver supplies to the water looks pretty decent. But there's water everywhere, so it's not so advantageous. Maybe secrets is better here? She partly kind of wants to maintain 5 persuasion to get hold of like the 5 costers out there, but unless you're going to reveal early, I don't see how you can ever realistically go and pull the spy off secrets. It seems kind of wild. Yeah, just gather support while it's there. Call it a day. So Muad'Dib will have leadership, but will not have the victory. Truth Trance comes off. Gurney's got 7 persuasion here. Truth Trance seems a fairly reasonable take here. Does he want delivery agreement is the question. Is he going to play for that with contracts or not? Sardaukar and the Harvest 4 are out there, which are 2 of the trickier ones to fulfill, so probably not. And, well, there you go. That's the first time it's happened. It was going to happen eventually here. Gurney takes Truth Trance and peels off Spectacle. Maybe he should have grabbed the pistol first to see what it would have been. So Fade Ralph is getting pumped. Oh, not again. Not again. Can you believe it? Wow. Well, Fade Ralph has a choice between Guild Spy and Spectacle here. We've seen the destruction that a Fade Ralph can have a Guild Spy, but Margot has got the spy on the Bene Gesserit, so what a spot here this is for Fade Ralph. It's an absolute dream for Margot. She's got Espionage Spy, she's either getting Guild Spy or Public Spectacle. Whatever happens here, she doesn't care which one she gets. What on earth do you take here as Fade Ralph? I don't know. I don't know. Tough call. I think you're meant to take Spectacle. I don't know. Very tricky spot to know what to pick here. Both are obviously very good for you, but both are insanely good for your opponent as well. So it depends kind of how you see it. You know, whatever one you take, they don't take. Maybe you take Guild Spy and hope they somehow don't have 4 persuasion. Guild Spy they almost certainly can get, and that's what he decides to do. Guild Spy it is. So he gets a spy on any spot he wants. It will be faction. Fade Ralpha will be not getting too much involved, and Margot would take Spectacle, which she'll be totally fine with. I think maybe Guild Spy is the pick here. I don't know. It's a pretty wild spot, and he will just start buying 2 persuasion cards and trying to block up faction spots here. So, nothing to play here combat-wise. Gurney will win it. Muad'Dib will have to settle for second place, which seemed very likely, truthfully. I don't know if he really should have put in all 3 troops. Maybe he should have just put in 2, I don't know. Anyways. So, it's a spy for Gurney. Probably go to the council. That by Choam found for Muad'Dib is not that bad. He's got that bump with the Bene Gesserit he could very easily let go, actually. See what happens. Test of loyalty. It's test of loyalty here. Well, Fade Ralph is going to be the first to try and get the hooks. Gurney Halleck has got a Rakis Revolt, which will allow you to deploy worms from cities, but he's still got to have his hooks to do it. Until then, it doesn't do anything. It's just basically a reveal card for 3 swords. Still very strong, though. I don't think Fade Ralph can expect to go Siege and Hager Basin here. Someone is going to cut him off here. As I say as well, Margot Fenring had... I was trying to think who bought Imperial Spy Master. It was Fenring, so... her having that and Spectacle, they kind of get on each other's toes a little bit. So probably Guild Spy was the better choice. I don't know. We'll see. So what does Gurney want to do? He does not have any other access to Spice Refinery except Arrakis Revolt, which is very awkward. Probably just has to go Fremkit and draw, I suspect. Yep. No shocks there. Pulls his other dagger. Oof. That's a bit of a tough draw here. So Fade will go Siege and hope that he somehow gets to Hager Basin. It's almost impossible. He gets to the trash mark on here. I expect we'll see the recon just taken out because he's got to keep Dune in his hand just in case something crazy happens. If Fade Ralph is expecting to get to Dune, very unlikely. Problem is he's got all his city access in his hand. Doesn't have any more, I don't believe. So who's going to go to Hager Basin first? Does Margot Fenring do so? Does Muad'Dib get a load of spice? Maybe Gurney. Well, Gurney can't get there, of course. Gurney would if he could. Someone's got to go Hager Basin, you'd think. You can't let Fade Ralph get to Hager Basin. Seems kind of absurd. It's just a question of who goes there first. Malka's got a ring. She's got Spy Master, which she will want to use at espionage here. But she's not in any real danger. I don't think anyone will go in espionage ahead of her a lot of the time. Don't see Muad'Dib going there a lot. Don't see Gurney going there a lot. They got different priorities here. And Fade has no spice. So Margot figures, yep, Hager Basin. She'll go and grab it first. I think this is reasonable. Do you put both in? Yeah, puts them in. Got to fight for the money. Everyone wants the cash here for Swordmaster. So everyone's just going to blast away here. Muad'Dib's got Shishakli in hand, but obviously no Fremen Bond yet. So can't use it very much for reveal, so probably just use it for trashing. Do they go to Desert Tactics, maybe? They could go Desert Tactics and trash, and then maybe use Shishakli to... You get rid of your dagger, probably a recon card as well. Just get rid of some of those starter cards. Could also go Spice Refinery and use back by Choam to get Swordmaster ahead of time. And given that it's Test of Loyalty and he can't get a spy to the council, that might be a better choice here. He's definitely considering it. But no, figures Desert Tactics is more important. Maybe he feels he can, if he gets to Refinery, he might be able to get there anyways. I don't know. We'll see. Gurney Halleck is very unfortunate for Gurney, by the way. It's a very awful draw here. To pull both daggers and revolt here and two convincings. That is unlucky. I'm not entirely sure what the move is. Do you just go Refinery and just take 5 coins? And figure, well, if everyone else goes Spice Refinery, like, it just gets your Swordmaster ready. I think it's the best you can do. Arakeen isn't great because all your swords are in your Revolt card here. Just a bad draw. Could also go Siege Toba himself and then immediately use the Spice to get the worm in with the double daggers. And that's what he might end up doing here. That is exactly what he's going to do. So here we go then, and this wall is... He's going to put the worms in. He doesn't have to blow the wall. It is not mandatory. And obviously there's no wall needed on this conflict, but figures this is his best bet here. Can't expect to ever win the fight. Yeah, it's either this or Refinery. You figure when you do this, you're probably getting at least a position on this, which is just as good as going to... Refinery, I guess. So yeah, I think this is... It's not the move he really wanted to make, but it's fine. Does opt to keep the wall up, knowing that Fade is going to be going next, next round. So does Fade... What does he do here? Can't worm. He's probably going to Arakeen and just get it in, I'd expect, and does. This will all go in. Margot, I suspect, will just go Espionage a lot here. Although she does go Espionage, she does and pulls the spikes. 2 cards, which means she would have to reshuffle. Does she go Secrets instead and pull 2 Intrigues? That could be relevant here. Currently, you've got 2 troops in, and probably you're not getting anything out of this fight. Maybe the 2 Intrigues is stronger here. How likely is Fade Ralph going to get in the way here? Oh, he's pulling his ring. He's got no Spice. I think Secrets is actually possibly stronger here. In this exact moment. Fade Ralph is not beating you to Espionage. He has no Spice and no Intrigues. His ring's been played. I think Secrets is probably better. You don't want to reshuffle your deck here. You want to see Spy Master and your Signet Ring as much. Especially Signet Ring. You need that to pay for the likes of Imperial Privilege and for... Public Spectacle and such. Or you could opt to go Arakeen and get it in that way, I guess. Oh man, Fine Weakness is found. That could be interesting. I guess that's also okay. But I just feel like when you get those, you want to be getting this faction bump as much as possible here. Back to Muad'Dib, who has a problem. And that he has no way to really get much more strength here, unless he doesn't play Shizakli and the dagger, which doesn't feel great. He could take +3 swords. Is +3 swords ever good, though? Does he ever get anything out of this? It'd be 7 strength total. There's going to be daggers about here. Trying to work out what Margot's got in hand. Yeah, difficult spot for Muad'Dib here. And if yellow wins and there's a tie at 7, the best Muad'Dib can hope for is 3 coins. Which is not great. So, I think he's just going to go accept contract, hope to fluke his dagger. Doesn't. And just take a contract here and hope his swords get him something out of this fight. But it's not a great spot here. He does have Back by Choam. He's got to get something out of the fight. So, there's going to be a 3-way tie here, potentially, at 2nd place for 2nd here. But Margot's got the daggers in hand here. And I suspect she's going to play Fine Weakness and take this down. Which means that Muad'Dib and Gurney Hallett might get nothing for this, which is going to be brutal. Because they're going to be tied 3rd place, which means they both get nothing. Which means Gurney's worm at Siege gives him nothing. It was a gamble, but it wasn't much else he could do here. Gurney just takes on Swerving and nothing else with his 4 of Persuasion, which is a bit of a surprise. Fade Ralph takes Paracompass. Margot's got 3 Persuasion. We've got Subversive there. Reliable Inform looks a great card for her. Needs those spies. And Muad'Dib does not like the look of this, I can assure you. This is bad news for red and green here. This is a big blow. Probably just has to do it. Desert Power comes off now. That's a nice card here, but no one can get it. Margot has to use Fine Weakness. The question is, does she lift her spy because she's scared of Muad'Dib? I suspect the answer is no. I think she's going to be pretty protective of this espionage spy. She has to play it. She's got to play it. There's no way you don't here. They're currently all getting free Solari, so she's going to get benefits out of this. And that is, as I say... Oh, does lift the spy! Wow, makes no... Doesn't take any chances here. Wow, just commits fully for it. Fair enough. Guess they figure they get the spy back, I suppose. Well, okay then. So, yeah, Margot gets the win. It's second place of Phaedra Alpha. Green and Red get nothing. That's a brutal blow. And that's a very expensive one for Gurney as well. That has gone horribly wrong. So it's going to be next round here. And Phaedra Alpha is going to be eyeing up going for Deep Desert here. Oh my goodness me. It's Protect the Sietches here. Well... Oh, but Phaedra Alpha's not drawn any access. He has no mining access. He's trying to work out what his last card is. It's his convincing argument. Oh. Phaedra Alpha would have to play Guild Spy to deliver supplies, pull the spy, and then discard to hope to draw the access. He cannot get to mining. Margot is respun. And Margot has respun Reliable Informant immediately. She might be highlining here. Legit might just be highlining here. What does Phaedra Alpha do? It's the only chance he's got to if he wants to get hold of Deep Desert, is to send Guild Spy. And I think he's going to gamble and do it. I think he feels it's too much value. He's going to gamble. Here we go. He will not pick up any intrigues here. But he gets the Holo Projector effect. So he discards the dagger and he's going to hope... He has to redraw it. So it's about a coin flip here. He finds the access. It's a huge draw. And he finds it. He does find it. Well, here we go then. Margot Fenring, though, is sitting on Highliner Spice and probably has to wait on it. She can't get Swordmaster, though. She's got no city access. She might just go, like, Bene Gesserit. But the question is she highlining this fight? It's a match for her. She needs the bump for the friendship. Like, she's got every reason to highline, does Margot Fenring. And I fully expect it to come here. Remember, must recall the spy to get the intrigue. So, if she goes Secrets and doesn't recall, it doesn't matter. So she is going to do the recall here. A couple of cards. Well, obviously is never going to have a situation they can help it where that spy is not there. Detonation comes off. That's a nice one for him. That'll be good for later on in the game. Muad'Dib has no water. Surely he's just got to go Siege with his ring and grab hooks. He doesn't want to draw those, the problem. But there's nothing he can do about it. No, he's going to go Refinery first because he's got back by Chum. He's just going to deal with his Swordmaster. Work it out from there. Pulls another dagger. Not really what he wanted. As for Gurney... What do you do as Gurney? Do you go Siege and hope that Phaedra Alpha didn't find access? Probably? It's clear that Phaedra Alpha probably didn't have access to mining. Because he sent Guild Spy and recalled the spy just to draw. It seemed pretty desperate. So, I wouldn't blame him for going to Siege here to pick up the third water in the hope that Phaedra Alpha did not find access. And you take the chance. It's also good it stops Muad'Dib from getting hooks. Which is something that he clearly probably wants to do. He could have got it there, but didn't. So, something's going on here. So there's some intrigue nonsense going on. Muad'Dib probably has an intrigue to get to Swordmaster here, but Gurney can't get the 6 cash together. So do you just block Siege here? I think, if I'm sitting here, I'm thinking, I'm just going to go Siege. And if Phaedra Alpha doesn't have hooks... He's also thinking I could just go in at Hanger Basin, but I don't think Hanger Basin's any danger here. Fade Ralph will go Deep Desert, if anything, and no one else has any water here. So I think for me it's Siege. No, does have a base in it. Interesting. I'm a little bit surprised about that. I don't know if that was that necessary. So Fade's going to blast it in at Deep Desert and just go all in here. But Margot Fenring has Highline and is going to get it in. And that will... there's no way she doesn't do it. She has to do this here. There's so much value. It matches her. It's her friendship. Fade's got no spies and he's got no intrigues. So if you Highline and put it all in, you know you win. You also get a spy on a faction as well, which would be nice. And that kind of hinders his guild spy as well. You block that up. So what else are you doing here? There's nothing else at all. She's trying to work out what his exact strength might be. But I don't think there's any other move for Margot here. I don't think anything else makes any sense. I think anything else is just wrong. Like, what else are you doing here? Imperial Basin? She can't get hooks. Arakeen feels pretty bad here. She's still going 5 persuasion. I think it has to. You have to highlight. I think anything else here I think is just wrong. I know it would have revealed you for the 6th corner would be nice, but it's an autumn. There's no other move here. So Fade, not going to win this. What is Margot doing? What is Margot Fenring doing here? I think what Margot's doing is she's trying not to commit here, and she's more than happy to use Detonation once Fade reveals to see can she actually win it. I think that's what's going on here. She must be prepared to use Detonation. The Highline and only go for 2nd place would be absurd on this. So that's why she was going to happen. Anyways, Muad'Dib's going to go and down bump with the Fremen, because he's going to go back there with leadership to Fremkit. Gurney's going to be wondering what exactly is going on here. A little peculiar, this. You're the only person with water. Again, Siege just seems such a natural move here. But Muad'Dib down bumped the Fremen. I mean, you can't go Fremkit and stop him from going there, which clearly is what he's trying to do. Yeah, he's going to keep the dagger on hand though. Doesn't want to draw. Doesn't want to find his, card he doesn't want. So, do you put it in here? I don't like it. I don't really see what this troop's accomplishing here. Don't really see what that troop's accomplishing. Maybe trying to tie Fade, I guess, in case he doesn't have a dagger, I guess. About the best I've got. Anyways. So, Fade with 5. And now Margot knows that she can clearly win. Picks up Subversive Advice, which is interesting. That is, once you send an agent to a faction spot, obviously with the spy, you get the double bump. Doesn't have to use the spy, it should be noted, but then the Subversive goes. It's going to have to use Guild Spy's largely an access card, because, being blocked out a bit here. Margot also with 5, so Muad'Dib's also going to get hold... Well, actually, no, I don't know what Muad'Dib's going to do. Still got Devoted out in the road, by the way. Oh my goodness. Muad'Dib might just reveal now. He might not even play Fremkit. Because Stilgar and Desert Power are out there. I don't know if Muad'Dib is going to play. He was obviously intending to go Fremkit, but now it's not so obvious. Must be trying to work out what his cards are. Oh, he's thinking of lifting the spy immediately for the 2 strength to try and win the fight. That's what he's considering doing here, but he doesn't. Margot has to. Surely she's done this with the intention to throw Detonation in. But why wouldn't you just get it all in here? It's going to cost all 3. She's thinking about delivery agreement. I don't know that she's... it's not... It's a tricky one. When you've only got one contract scored, it's hard to do. I mean... Yeah, should have just got it in and held on to detonation. I think this is overcomplicating the situation a bit. She is going to just get it in. She just wanted to make sure that Faye didn't have anything crazy. But it's a little bit of a waste of an intrigue, truthfully. Did it get Gurney to commit an extra troop? I guess. So what does Muad'Dib do? Does he play or does he reveal for Stilgar? No. He is going to not go Fremen. He's going to put his faith behind Stilgar the Devoted and hope that it gets him there. But Luna is behind in this game. No doubt about it. Come up to round 5. And is yet to have a hard point. Obviously had it and gave it away. But it's going to go for Stilgar and has to commit himself to round 7 here. But he's not in a good position for it. Have to come from behind. Anyways, Margot wins and takes the conflict. Fade with 6 spies, couple of troops. He's going to be going to some high lines, you'd imagine. Margot's got Spectacle coming. Margot's going to be feeling pretty good about life right now. Not a bad looking deck as well. Getting through it decently. Won a couple of decent conflicts. Show him security is next. Now, the question is an interesting question here. Given the fact that Muad'Dib has given up his siege access, do you just go Fremkit with Spectacle here? There's no point going for cash, because Fade Ralph is going to beat you to Swordmaster. Wow, she is going to go for the cash. No, I don't. Yeah, I don't think this move makes any sense. Yeah, Green's got to lose his coin as well. Yeah, the move makes no sense. I don't know why you'd bother doing that. Fade Ralph's sitting on 6 spies. I think it's not outrageous to go Fremkit just to continue to get in Muad'Dib's way and just make sure he's not a factor in this game. It would hurt him a lot. He is desperate to get to Fremkit here. No spy. Oh, sorry. No spies for espionage. But you could go Fremkit and then take the additional bump with the Fremen to get the spice to go there. No, just going to go Basin. Playing very defensive, these spies here. So, Muad'Dib will get to Fremkit. What does he go there with? He doesn't want to play Shishakli, probably not. He wants to reveal that to get the extra bump. He feels there's an alliance he can legit go for. Do you go there with Stilgar, or do you go there with Diplomacy? If you're not using Shishakli, you've got to find a triangle use somewhere, which is probably accept contract. Or you don't worry about the alliance. We'll see. Well, it's not an access card, so, you know. Not helping. There's a fight, obviously, he very much would like to win, but it's going to be difficult too. I've never seen someone mess about the cards in their hands so much. Cheapers. No, when I'm playing, like, my hand's not even on the... is nowhere near my mouse or keyboard. It's like... You know, I've got arms on the desk. I'm nowhere near it. You don't see my hand move. Gurney's going to feel they've got to go Spice of Firing, obviously, to try and get hold of their Swordmaster. They may not pay for the spice, though. They might legit consider... They can get free Slari for no spice, and they could even send Truth Trance to, like, Sardaukar, I suspect, might be coming here. Yeah, I think Sardaukar would be a nice little move here. Get some garrison going for next round. His ring's coming too. It's a decent draw off of Mauler Pistol as well, as far as that's concerned. Obviously, could go Hager Basin as well now, potentially. But I think Sardaukar might be a better move. We'll see. Oh, what's he doing here? You cannot do that. You've got to decide when you go to the space. You can't add the spice afterwards. Yeah, he's trying to get the he's trying to do it after the draw. He cannot. It's got to be done immediately here. It's you either pay 0 for 2 or 1 for 4. Or you decide before anything else. He can't make that decision after the fact. He has to stay the same there. You don't get to see what happens. It's decided before you do anything. You paying for the board spice cost. It's very much similar to Selmelange back in Imperium. You have to choose the board cost. This is also the same as well. Like, just gather support's the same too. Anyways, Swordmaster for Fade. Gurney will get his. Curious to see what Margot's gonna do here. She's surely playing Spectacle, but she's gonna have to reshuffle her deck. And I guess Muad'Dib is gonna play Shishakli now to get to Siege, as he didn't pull further access, and he played Gurney to Fremkit, so... I guess the question is if... I mean, they're not going to let Muad'Dib go Fremkit, Siege, and Hager Basin in this one round, right? That would seem completely absurd. But I don't know that anyone else is going to block him. Is Gurney giving up Truth Trance to go Hager Basin? Well, he wouldn't be able to. So, this could be interesting. Muad'Dib might be allowed to basically just get hooks and Hager Basin this round with no opposition, which is kind of ridiculous. But might. Yeah, Margot's in the spot. She feels she's got to play Spectacle, but she won't see the card again. Is she going to go for the cash now, I guess? Looks like it. Ah, she figures if she infiltrates Spice Refinery, she doesn't have to redraw her deck. That's what's going on, because the spy is being consumed for the infiltration, so she doesn't have to redraw. That is true. That is true. You know, that's not an outrageous... that's not an outrageous consideration. Yeah, just needs spy recalling for whatever reason. Even with an intrigue. In theory. She has other plans here. Now, it should be noted, if she goes Desert Tactics, the draw happens before the trash. The spy is resolved before anything else does. You know, you set and pay for board costs. Yeah, that isn't going to work. So I think this makes logical sense, though. She is going to take the bump with the Benny to get her 2 spice back. I think I like buying the paying for all 4 as well. I think it's fine. So Muad'Dib is going to just go Siege, surely, here. Because he might even get Hager Basin. I think he probably has to keep as an ID. He'd rather use Diplo, though. But I don't see any way Muad'Dib doesn't do it. I mean, Siege and just trashing a Dune isn't bad. And honestly speaking, I'd be happy to give up Diplomacy if I could put a Worman on this fight as Muad'Dib. Paying for your bump anyways, right? I don't think there's any... I think you've got to set yourself up for it. Pulls his ring. It's a good card. Yep. Just going to keep getting dudes in here. Doesn't need this many in, truthfully. He's in... he is concerned. He is absolutely mortified that Fade Ralpha might highline him here. That is his worry. Swordmaster for Gurney. Fade's got Paracompass in hand, which he'll want to play for the cash. Arakine's still sitting there. Probably just has to play it, and does. Yeah. I like putting at least one troop here and just threatening Highliner. Is that a niggling one where you don't know if he's going to commit more or not? Like, off a Highline? Would Fade Ralpha ever Highline this conflict? I mean, it give him a shot at the Alliance. He also can recognise it's a huge boon for you. I don't like this from Fade. I think Fade should be a bit more, for lack of a better way to put it, sure of what he's attempting to do troop-wise. You want to make it look like you're prepared to highline this fight and make Muad'Dib just commit everything. That's what you're looking to do here. This is where like image can be an important part of it. You want to convince him that you're going to go in heavy. Although although your deck is face up though, so I guess he should be able to work it. You don't actually have Highlander access, so yeah, that's a thought. Yeah, so Muad'Dib boys just no choice about it. Just gonna get it in and draw. Daggers, like whatever. Yeah, I guess if Fade rather had cards to draw, it'd be a bit more. Muad'Dib would have been a more difficult spot here, but whatever. So yeah, I don't hate Gurney going Sardaukar here. It garrisons him up for next conflict, which is going to be important. Coming up to tier 3s as well. It gets a tricky point done. Could also go deliver supplies for Deep Desert potentially next round, but you'd rather have that for round 7. And also it could be walled. It might be able to anyways. I like Sardaukar. I just think Sardaukar, there's ever a spot to do it. I think this is a nice one. You know? Sorry. I don't feel like he wants to draw. And once the Emperor point is done, that's it. It's one thing you can take off the chalkboard. And those Charleston troops are gonna be useful for you with Ring coming. You know, you're an overbearing presence on the next conflict, whatever it is. And you've got nothing to match with currently, so you know, if you're gonna go combat heavy. And it also opens up Imperial Privilege for you as well in the future. With the flag on Spice Refinery, always paying for that. So I just think it's a good spot for Sardaukar. Could also go Dutiful, I guess. Maybe go for the acquire contract potentially. That's also okay. I do kind of get the feeling Gurney might need to find a Spiceless Flow somewhere. Could also, I guess, go Desert Tactics to put the troop in and trash a dagger. That's also not outrageous, but it's not an alliance you're going to feel particularly happy putting that bump in. Him winning that alliance is not heavily likely, I don't think. So, yeah, for me, I'm just hitting Emperor, I think, a lot. He's going to espionage. He's risking the draw here. Well, that is not the card he wanted to see. And that's why I didn't like it. There's a lot of cards that he could have pulled that it was fraught with danger, that move. Feels he's got to get the spy on Haggard Basin, which is not unreasonable. Oh, by the way, so Muad'Dib's revealed and picked up Seek's Ritual, but he can't use it right now because he's had to reveal first. So that's for next round, but that's an amazing, amazing card for him. That's just a point. Yeah, Gurney pulling in Revolt is a terrible result. I don't think it was the right call. Fade's got 6. This doesn't give favor. It does take space to give favor over Desert Power. That's a surprise. Well. So, yeah. Muad'Dib will win it, obviously. Fader Alpha will take a cheap enough second place. And now Muad'Dib's going to get the decent contracts here. Yeah. Just think that was... I mean, you do it and say he pulls like his recon and think, oh, it's the right move. You don't want to be deterministic about it. Anyways. Takes the 4 spice. Instead of the research station. Anyways. So. Round 6 is Spice Raiders. Monster fight. Muad'Dib has no water. Fade Ralph would very much like to win this. He's got Subversive. He might highline this. Possible. Got the spice for it. Margaret's going to get a Sword Master. No one looks to be going really anywhere near High Council right now. They're trying to work out who's got what, I guess. Not the best draw from Muad'Dib, truthfully. Leadership and prepare and double daggers. Probably just has to discard a dagger, you'd think. Who's Dune? How do you not play Seech Ritual here to make another draw? That is a surprise. Is he thinking of just not playing leadership and just trying to reveal for a ton of daggers here and win this on the cheap? I don't know. Bit of a curious move, that. I mean, Goni's got full license to go in Haga Basin if he wants. It seems a pretty logical move. Or do you go to Seech and blow the wall in preparation for next round? It's less valuable, though, because you've got Arrakis Revolt, and that lets you blow the wall. So you're not as obligated to do it. It's a question of priorities, Liz. What do you think's more important here? Also needs to be hitting these factions as well. They're not going to stay unblocked for long. I mean, Deliver looks nice. The problem is when's that second bump coming in? Unless he gets set up for Highliner next round. No, just think he's just going to get the Worm and the Troop. Not a particular surprise, but I don't think it's that likely he's getting the water here. Like, I think it's very possible that Phaedra Alpha and Muad'Dib are going to go over the top here, so he's not getting a great reward for this. He's he's after the water, basically. He's playing for second place. I don't think it's that likely, though. Yep, Fade will go. Seech. I don't know that Fade Ralph is going to go Highline, but he's got buckets of spice. Is Fade Ralph thinking Deliver Supplies Deep Desert? He's got Shaddam's Favor in hand as well. He might be doing that. And thinking, well, I'll just cash in for the bumps and points here. In fact, I think that is what he's going to do. Margot will just go to Dutiful. Yeah, I think that's what's going on here. It's also denying Muad'Dib water as well. Contract it is. Shishakli found, so he's currently got, what, 8 sword reveal here, which is kind of nuts. And that's what he's playing for, obviously. He might still go Fremkit, though, and then reveal Shishakli from Alliance. But I think that's what might be happening here. I think Phaedra Alpha is considering Deliver Supplies and Deep Desert here. With all that spice in hand, it looks like that's what he's playing for. Gurney has to hit a faction of some kind, right? Do you just go Secrets? Access. You only got that in your triangle, though, which is pretty bad. I think Secrets is fine. It's a point. It's an intrigue. You need options here. You have a distinct lack of them. You feel the game's maybe starting to get away from you a bit. You've had a couple of not good draws, but you've chanced your arm a bit. Could also go Fremkit, I guess. But if you're desperate for the card... No, deliver supplies it is. So we're going to find out very quickly what Fade's up to here, but it looks like... Was that a move to block Fade Ralpha and try and get in the way of it here? Maybe. I don't know if it was intentional. Anyways. So he is going Deep Desert. The problem is how much is he going to commit here? He doesn't realize how much strength from Muad'Dib's sitting on hand with. Absolutely buckets of swords. But he will know he's got those intrigues not been using. Swordmaster for Margot. What is Muad'Dib going to do? What's his priority? Does he play leadership for the Fremen Alliance? Or does he... He has to take an action. Muad'Dib has to do something he cannot reveal right now because he'd give the game up to Fade Ralpha. He knows Fade's going Deep Desert. He needs to keep in the dark as to what his strength is. So he's got to make a decision here. I could see... Oops, sorry. I could see him going maybe Assembly Hall, perhaps. I could see him going Gather Support, potentially. Threatening maybe some detonation. Also, he wants the water to get together for unexpected allies. But if he plays the dagger, he loses 2 combat strength. That's the problem. But he has to do something. I think Muad'Dib to reveal now is he's got 8 swords. He's got to do something though. Yeah, he's going to take the water, but it makes it harder for him to win this fight. He's got to hope that Fade. The problem is he's tied with 4. So if Fade Ralpha goes for worms here, that puts him at 10 minimum. 3, 4, yeah, it's gonna be 6 here. So Fade Ralpha is gonna win the fight now. Is the problem, but there's not much he could do about it. Here come the worms. I expect Fade will put in probably all of it. Yep, he's not going to take any chances here. I don't think he'll use Shaddam's favor. He's got a spy down if he wants to use it. He can probably save maybe a troop, perhaps. Yeah, he's worried about the swords. So, not taking any chances here. It's too important. You know, it's 2 bumps. It's 2 victory points for 6 spies. Like, it's a massive conflict for him there. So I don't think you can take any chances here. Surely you'd better off play it safe and get the win and rather than try and save a troop and lose it. Margot's got a ring. Doesn't really have anywhere to go. Could go shipping if she wants. Shipping for more bumps to get High Council going as well. Remember, she's got Spectacle. She's got the likes of Imperial Spy Master as well. A lot of bumps on offer. Their alliances are open for her to go for here, and she needs points. Margot, you feel, needs to try and end this game like as soon as possible here. She's got the advantage because of the factions, but that is going to be caught up, and especially if the next conflict is propaganda. It's going to be a madness, that. So I don't hate going shipping with High Council plans. I think that might be a decent way to play this. Get the Spy on Arrow Keen, you got the contract there, you can lift it with whatever card you want. As for the bump... Probably Bene Gesserit. Fremen if you're feeling greedy. Emperor is also an option, I guess, for those spies. But you've already got tons of them down. Let's go Emperor instead. I guess thing is, well, I'm just going to go Spectacle to Espionage and double bump that anyway, so... So Muad'Dib's given up the fight. He knows he can't win, so he might as well play Seats Ritual and discard the other dagger. Well, he's going to discard Convincing. He's not even interested in buying anything here. I guess it's not going to matter, particularly with the row here. No interest in Double Agent? Okay. So 4 swords and the bump. Oh, 6 swords even. My bad. Don't think he'll buy anything. Clearly, Gurney will get a troop, but will only be able to garrison it. No Fremen Bond to pull or deploy a troop. Where's Fade Ralpha taking these bumps? There's a question for you. I think he's going to take one of the Spacing Guild. He figures that he might need to beat Margot to High Council here, and I think he does want to get there. So I'd expect to see a lot of that. Trying to work out, does he pull a spy here? I don't think he needs to worry about it. I think he's totally safe. He's got he's at 10 and Paul's at 15. Would Muad'Dib play a 5 persuasion card to... The only one that exists is the effective the blackmail. Yeah, it's one card though. And Muad'Dib, is he really going to do that to you? I don't... It's a huge swing combat for you. If you want to play it safe, sure, yeah, he's going to play it just ultra safe, not take any chances. Probably unnecessary, but, you know, when it's a wildcard match, straight knockout, maybe you don't take those chances. Margot, I don't think will buy anything. Nothing to play here. And we'll move on. So where is Faye taking the bumps? I assume one to Spacing and one to maybe like the Emperor or something. Maybe Bene Gesserit. Fremen feels very, very, very out there. But, you know, a huge spot for Phaedra Alpha, and he's cashed in fully. And he's still got Spice lying around here. So here we go. What do we got? It is Arakeen. So it's neutral. There's no troops. It's the Spy Lifter. Wall is up. And Gurney Halleck has not drawn Revolt. The players won't know that, but he's first to act, though, so... What do you do here as Gurney Halleck? Surely he's just going to rip it in a Highliner, you'd imagine. And does... And it'll be up to the other players to decide what they're going to do. So now, Phaedra Alpha's got Guild Spy in hand, but no spies. So he's surely going to just go Espionage here, I would imagine. Espionage, put the spy on the Emperor, I suspect we'll see. And does. Could have, of course, infiltrated Highliner himself, but doesn't feel it's necessary. Margot's got all her spy cards here. Is there any way for Margot to get 4 points in this round? All her spy cards. Countless. Well, she picked up Countless. When did that even happen? I don't know. Muad'Dib's has got Stilgar. Could be a big fight here between red and green here. The loser you expect is going to be out, but Muad'Dib has got unexpected allies. But unexpected allies is not worth a lot in this fight. It's only worth a point maximum. He cannot double the resource cost, and he doesn't have a dagger in hand on his symbols, so... But I suspect he's going to just chuck it out anyways, because it's really hard to win back-to-back fights here. It's also an intrigue as well, so... You think Margot naturally just goes Espionage probably a lot of the time, just put Spectacle there, but it's already been blocked, so it doesn't have to go there. What other moves have you got here? Do you go Arakeen, maybe? And then take the Emperor bump first? I don't know. You feel like you've got to get Bene Gesserit Alliance here, right? Question of priorities. You also need to find a Spice Must Flow. But you need to go High Council realistically for that. Depends if you think Phaedra Alpha's going to go there or not. Go Secrets. Wow. Okay. Figures, well, I'm gonna get the draw. I'd rather just get the do it this way. She's gonna use this to bump it here, and she is going back though. Okay, this is a bit of an unorthodox route to take, but I like it. It's definitely found some interesting ways to keep that spy there on the. And I said at the start of the game, she gets the spy there. It's staying there for the rest of it. She pulls Special Mission, by the way, which is pretty good. Well, I'm an Informant's in hand as well, maybe. There's some chances for some stuff. So Muad'Dib's going to feel he has to win this fight, and there's no other way about it. And this is very true. Hard to see how Muad'Dib wins this game without winning this fight. The game might end anyways. Like, Phaedra Alpha's sitting on an 8 points. Fade Ralpha could just go High Council and Spicer's Flow. And if he's got a way of getting the bump, if he's got Imperium Politics and he gets Spicer's Flow of High Council with Gale Spy, game's over. So I don't think Muad'Dib has the luxury of waiting around. But again, it's not a great conflict for him is the problem. It's not a good fight for him. Doesn't have to get worms in with Deep Desert. Does he research station possibly? Oh no, he needs the water. He also wants to go Fremen, preferably to get the alliance, but he might just reveal Shishakli and hope that that gets the job done itself, which is likely. But there's no way I can see him scoring 5 points here. 3, 4 maybe. The only way he'd be able to get 5 points would be to win the fight with a worm, lift the spies, get the Fremen alliance, and Spice Must Flow. That's literally the only way he gets the 10 points. Goes smuggling. He figures he's gonna... Wow, okay, well, what is this? What is this? He goes smuggling and takes a bump with the shipping. With the Spacing Guild. Muad'Dib is going to attempt to take this alliance away with the Acquire Contract and Spice Must Flow. And he's got 2... But he's only got 6 Persuasion in hand. Goni's worth 4, but Shakli's worth nothing. Is he really trying to take on Fade's alliance here? It feels very ambitious. Goni Halleck won't care. No worm. The wall's up. Yeah. Amazing the amount of people that forget about that, by the way. It is truly amazing. The amount of people that forget the wall's up. So I have to take it all back. It was, you know, a legal move. Yeah, Arakine's always awkward. I think he might just go, yeah, accept contracts. Research station. Yeah, I'm not entirely surprised to see that. It's a way for him to get the spy down and lift it with Arakeen. And it's not likely that anyone's going to get in the way, but I don't know. Well, Fade Ralpha can do nothing about the... Wow, that helps. Spacing Guild favor is found. Well, that makes his life a bit easier here. Oh my goodness me. Is that it? 2, 4, 6. Fade Ralpha needs High Council. If Fade Ralpha gets High Council, game's over. Because you'll be able to get both bumps of the Emperor here. He's got 7 Persuasion. Paracompass is worth nothing because he doesn't have High Council. High Council will get in there anyways. But Spacing Guild favor, he'll be able to pay the free spice for the Emperor bump, and then Guild Spy would get him the other one. Oh, but Margot Fenring doesn't block it! She goes Espionage instead! Questionable methods and distraction found. Well... I think that... Wow, she went Espionage there and didn't go High Council. I'm really surprised at that. Surely she'd need to go there anyways. What was that move? Well, she's actually short on it anyways, as it turns out, for the Spiceless Flow, but she wasn't going to know that. So, Muad'Dib's got an interesting spot here. I think he's has to go High Council now, right? But the problem is if Muad'Dib goes High Council, he can't take the Alliance because he won't be able to go to deliver supplies. Because he needs the persuasion from diplomacy. So Muad'Dib is in... He's in real trouble here. So... But that's it. It's over. Fade Ralph is just going to go High Council here. He's got no other move to make anyways. And Muad'Dib... This is just over, isn't it? I think Fade Ralph is going in. I don't think he's going to be stopped here. Critical move was someone had to stop High Council, and no one did. Margot probably should have blocked it and didn't. Muad'Dib could have done, I guess, but it wasn't a great looking spot. Do you just hope the guy hasn't drawn Guild Spy? He's drawn the rest of his deck. And for, I think, the third wildcard game now, we've seen a Fade Ralph with Guild Spy win it. Fade Ralph is his High Council, and that's it. It's all over. And on the bounce is going through, surely, to the quarterfinals here. Unless something insane happens. Margot's going to fight here, but she needs some serious help intrigue-wise. And that's not going to do it. Muad'Dib has to play Shishakli, and... But now what? He can't pull enough persuasion. He's at 6. But he can't win the fight anymore. Yeah. It feels like too little too late. He's trying to work out, is there any way he could possibly win, but even with Gurney unexpected allies, the most I can see him getting in is 5 troops, allies for 13, dagger for 14. He'd still need intrigue help. Trying to work out if yellow's gonna win this. It's too late to worry about that now. You've gone too far down this path, but the only thing Muad'Dib can do is somehow pull free persuasion, but I don't think he's got any other Fremen cards. And if he doesn't, Muad'Dib would have to hope to find, like, by access or Imperium politics and something that steals Yellow's alliance. Wow. Maybe Blue was just worrying more about their own game. Just trying to score their own points, but in doing so, has left the door open ajar for Fade Ralpha. And it just looks too little too late now. I don't see... The only thing Muad'Dib can do is just go for as many intrigues as possible and hope he flukes something. He doesn't even need the throne bump doing this, though, because he's got it with Shishakli. He's just going to put in what he can here, but it feels too little too late. Unless an insane intrigue comes off that keeps his game going, Fade's going through here. Fade has to take the additional bump with the Emperor, though, to get to 10. He has to gamble that Muad'Dib doesn't steal the alliance. Change allegiances. Imperium politics, and by access are all in that deck. There's 33 cards. So it's about a 9% chance that Muad'Dib finds something to keep this game going. Can he do it? It would be brutal for Fade if that's how it went down. Absolutely brutal. Maybe not even deserved. Well, Gurney's got his own game to worry about, you know. When you're at 4 points, you're that far behind. I mean, I guess so. Was that what he was preparing for? Perhaps. But then you just kind of give him the game to Red at that point, though, aren't you? Steal the Alliance, win the battle. Like, Green's got to go for it. So... yeah, that's the problem in a spot like Green. Like, if you step aside from one, you step aside from the other, especially sitting with Gurney Hallett, you're going to let him go to a research station? You never let... If he shows you that card, you're never letting him get there. So... anyways, Margot has got nothing to do here. I don't know what we're waiting for. Yeah, this game is not over yet. Margot could be sitting with endgames as well. Could have a match for Fopter. Could have a couple of things here. So Fade is far from certain he's won this. I don't know what we're waiting for with Margot though. Yeah, there's 3 of them. They're all there. If it comes off, it's brutal for yellow. It's absolutely disgusting. Oh, Margot never lifted her agent from privilege. That's why. She never lifted her agent. Oops. That would explain a lot. I was like, what's she thinking about? Yeah, she went to privilege. She was meant to lift an agent and then forgot. So, you know, that's... is what it is. Anyways... can Muad'Dib fluke it? Here we go. Can he fluke it? Victory in the fight is not good enough. No. That's it. It's all over. Fade is through. It'll win him the conflict, but it'll only score him 2 points. It's not enough. On the bounce is through to the quarterfinals. Fade and Guild Spy get there yet again. It's one of the things I was curious about when we organised the tournament is as we see more and more of these matches, do we see some repeat themes? And that's the one I've seen a lot, especially in this wildcard round. Fade Ralph and Guild Spy. Just absolutely destructive. Yeah, the 3 swords, but it's meaningless. It's all she wrote.
GG, everybody.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, yeah, Grant's getting through, but Fade Ralph and Guild Spy get there yet again.
Yeah. In my defense, I only got 1 point off it.
You did. You used it as an access point, which is fine. But yeah, I know that's what people are going to say.
But yeah,
I could have gone there, or I could have steal this, and the game goes on another run. But
well, there was
if you had blocked here, it was
the High Council as well. I thought Margot was going there. I thought High Council.
I had so many cards, it probably looked like I had it either way.
Yeah, perhaps. But yeah, the problem is if like Red could have blocked that, but then they don't score the point anyway.
They don't get anything.
So there's not much you can do. I thought blue was gonna go high council, but they didn't. So
I don't think the high cancel matters that much, because if he doesn't go here and does anything else, then I can go
I
here.
mean,
And...
maybe,
If you block
but
high council...
when Green's sitting there with 4 points and you've probably got Stilgar, like, and he's trying to win the fight to keep himself in the game, like he's not going to not go research station. You know, he went research station and still lost the fight.
If you block high council, I wouldn't have gotten Spice Must Flow.
Yeah, as it turned out.
But like I said, I had so many cards, it probably didn't seem like it.
Yeah, there's a ton going on. So what are you gonna do? It was an interesting game. It was going to be pretty combative. I could tell that early on, and all these guys thinking, well, this is going to be violent. I do think Green was subject to a couple of rough draws, but that's what happens sometimes. I think when you draw off your last action, you can find cards you don't want to see, which was a little.
Didn't he literally draw a revolt, like first round?
Yeah, he drew it a couple of times, but that's the problem when you draw at the end. That's the way it goes. And Blue did what they could. Like, I think you played a pretty solid enough game. You just needed someone. You needed the game to go one more round and to get the value out of all your faction access. You got 6 points out of it, but
yeah, I needed one more round. But hey, good game.
Yeah, definitely. So it was an interesting watch for sure. No doubt about that.
I got pretty lucky on the timing of this combat.
That was huge. Yeah, that was.
I had a bajillion spice. Like,
yeah.
I literally paid for 2 points and still had 6 spice. Like, that was kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, that was a big result for you.
On this one as well, there was you were at I think 2 water, and Green went here first action instead of going water and then blocking this.
The water. Yeah,
which is huge as well. I wasn't in position to do that, so it had to be up to him to do it.
Yeah.
Alas. So confirmation that Bounce will make his way through to quarterfinal M, where he'll take on GVX Uber and Grizzlepuff. That is a meaty quarterfinal game. And that, unfortunately, will be the end of the road for everyone else in this match. To be fair, as I was mentioned, like, Faye didn't get a ton of value out of Guild Spy in regards to just spamming bumps, but sometimes you don't have to. Just finding that one extra point in a game like this is plenty enough. That with the guild there, but definitely there were chances to for the table to stop Fader Alpha, but the problem is that it's far from a dependable strategy, and of course the problem is that if people do and then people get into spots where there's trying to stop the leader, but then you just end up someone else wins instead, sort of thing. So you just kind of worry about yourself, and that seemed what a lot of this was about. Blue could have taken some actions, Green maybe could have taken some actions, the way it goes sometimes. But all in all, I think Bounce used Marshall his resource as well. Not the most outstanding deck, truthfully. And I guess between Guild Spy and Spectacle, I guess it was the right call. I think Spectacle would have been probably just as fine. And especially once Space Raiders came out in round 6, that was just an absolute crazy swing round for him. That was basically just 3 points right there. His own personal tier 3 conflicts. So, pretty nuts stuff. Anyways, folks, we're going to call that one there. So thank you much for watching. Take care of yourselves, and we'll see you in the next conflict, which will probably be the final wildcard match.